Hello YouTube fans, here again. I do realise why not, so I'm talking about a bit of sci, a bit of the Rocky films, why not this one? I Am Rocky 2. That's right, I Am Rocky 2. I did the first one, and then after that I'll probably do the review of that one. So after the success of the original, the classic Rocky, Sylvester Stallone, as we know for doing adult film, I've done that one, The Italian Stallion, and he died other films, whether it be Paradise, remember like the Paradise Breaks, whether it would be Fist, and all these other films. But his films were never that successful. People didn't know them, they wasn't that successful, they didn't make the box office, people just saw Sai as one man and one man owner. Rocky. And as we know, Rocky originally won an award, it won an Emmy Award, and it was going to be a standalone film, a man that didn't win, but a man that went the distance. And there was a cry and a cry and a wins and a vine to make a sequel. Sequels in that era, there was never really that popular, you know what I mean? It was never that popular, but sequels were getting noticed. Like the first sequel, when you think about it, or some early ones, like The Godfather Part 2, we had Jaws 2, there was a cry, there was a wind, there was a rhyme for a sequel. So 1979, because of the winds and the vine, Sylvester Stallone decided, what the hell, let's do a sequel. And the name was Rocky 2. He brought back some of the old casts, like Ty Cyrus, Burt Lund, and so on. And Sylvester Stallone decided to do it on one deal only. One, he would write it like he did when he did the original, and two, he would also direct this film. This you could say would be the first time Sylvester Stallone directed a film. And just nowadays people say he's directed loads of films. Yeah, you're right. He directed the third Rocky film. Could be right in one. I think he directed the fourth. I do know he directed Nighthawks as well as written ideas for it and some of his other films. But this was the first time he did direct a film because of the big success of the original. He decided to get into a hand of directing and writing. Some people think he's mad for that. But if you want to see mad, look at 1985 when he did the sequel to Rambo, being Rambo does, Rambo First Blood Part 2, where he wanted action and action and action. He written ideas, more action. He had the weight lift, he had the body build, he had to work out. Look at Rambo 3, some of the mad things he did there. So he really worked hard for this film and he earned it. And it was a hard one, this, you know what I mean? It was a hard one, because it was a foil one, it was a continuation, that's word right, a continuation of what happened in the first one. And it's funny, because, as we know, the first one came out, mid-70s, 76. This came out in the late 80s, 1979, and it had the foil one from the original. But I think they did a good job. Some actors didn't come back. Like I remember the manager what worked for Apollo Cheed. He didn't come to prize his role. Don't know why, but he never prized his role. But it was we had Tara Reffers, Mae West. He prized his role. His mate, the one with the same hairstyle as me. Me also rest in peace. He prized his role. So it was refreshing to see him prize the role, to come back and prize their roles. You know what I mean? And it started to fold on from what he did. Sadly to say though, this one didn't win an Emmy Award like the original. And a lot of people say, oh, it's not as good as the original. To be honest, I thought this was a damn good film. I thought this was a damn good, worthy sequel. I don't care what anyone says. I don't give a diggity dee what anyone says. I think this was a damn good, worthy sequel. Is it as good as the first one? The first one will always be a classic. This is also good. And what the idea, because the idea was, what Apollo Cheed says, when he said, it's going to be a rematch, and Rocky says, didn't want one. But it does, money talks, and the story was that Apollo Cheed, even though he won, he felt cheated. He felt he should have won the fight, even though he did win the fight. He felt he just got by luck. He got 8 letters. People thought Who Are You decided this, Beaumont, which is mentioned in the film. And his pride was hurt, even though he won the fight. He felt he could have done a better job. So, you know, he wanted a rematch. He demanded a rematch. Rocky at first wasn't bothered, but it's one of these. He had the success of money, but he blew it. And this is sort of like can happen to anyone. You had all that money. You've never had that money before. You are going to go loopy-loo. You are going to go loopy-loo. And he does. He spends it. He spends it like an idiot, and he ends up brass. And he has no option. He tries to get jobs because he's not that qualified. He isn't that skilled. He gets dead-end jobs. They don't last long. And he has no option. He has to go back and has a rematch. And I like that. I like the idea. To me, they tied it with this one. This is why when I do this one, it's going to be a rant. It's going to be a fucking rant because I think this one did it a lot better. It handled it a lot better. The art was there. It wasn't a fart. It still had the same Bill Jontis theme, you know, do 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 do, and you did have a different theme from the opening to the sequel. And that's like I found Sylvester Stallone, seeing he written this, directed this. He did a very good job for his first directing role. He did a very, very good job. He did a good job. I think he did an amazing job at doing this. I think the fight was a lot better. It was better choreographed. I like the bits where it's in slow motion, when he's hitting a protein and protein's hitting him. You know, you get the sound effect. Slow motion. So that's Rocky 2. I'll probably talk more about it, more reviews about it, put into them. Be smart, be safe, and it'll be round 2 for Rocky 2. See you later.